I just watched the True Geordie interview with Tyson Fury, at the end of which Fury decides to unleash a barrage of abuse at True Geordie, aka Brian Davis, for daring to ask him serious, challenging questions about his choice of opponent in Derek Chisora on December the 3rd. Big up Brian Davis for asking the kind of questions that should be asked of Tyson Fury and are never asked by supposed journalists within boxing, because these are all sycophants masquerading as journalists. They're not journalists, they're conduits, they're courtiers, and they have to be, otherwise they don't get access. And this is a problem in boxing, the way it's structured, that promoters and the top fighters, they know they can control their own narrative because journalists are too scared to ask serious questions, because then they will no longer get access and thereby lose relevancy and damage their careers. It's a problem. It means that people like Tyson Fury are never held to account, and he certainly needs to be held to account for this bullshit that he's trying to pull and the exploitation that he's engaged in of thousands of fans. He's picking their pockets. I have sympathy when he says he couldn't get an opponent for December the 3rd. That's fine then. Fight Chisora. It's a tick-over fight. It's a warm-up fight. Fine. But don't have it on pay-per-view and don't have it in an open-air fucking stadium in the middle of winter. Have it in an enclosed arena like the O2 or the MEN in Manchester, and make sure that you're placing the comfort of the fans as a priority. How much money do you need at this stage? You've got hundreds of millions of pounds, clearly. Chisora's not skint either. So this is a piss take. This is where the sport succumbs to the business, and it's a circus. Derek Chisora's got more miles on the clock than Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's gone from being a war horse to being a cart horse. He's predictable. He comes forward in straight lines. He's easy to hit. He's probably got 3 or 4 good rounds in him. I don't doubt that his spirit's still there, his heart's still there. But these fighters, at a certain stage, need to be saved from himself. He's like an latter-day Archie Moore. He thinks he can go on forever, Derek Chisora. And guess what? He gets hurt, and if he gets hurt, the sport gets hurt. It's already been damaged. Its credibility is currently in the fucking gutter over the Daniel Kinahan scandal and over the Conor Ben doping scandal. How many more scandals can the sport take? And let's not get complacent. I'm old enough to remember when boxing in the UK in the 70s and the early 80s was a fucking fringe sport. Hardly anybody went to boxing. You couldn't find it on mainstream television. It was a fringe sport. It was like fucking wrestling. And my worry is it can go back to that because advertisers, broadcasters will get tired of it. They'll say we can't afford to be associated with this bullshit anymore. So I'm concerned. I've never been more disenchanted with boxing, even though I love the sport and have done for many years. But I'm disenchanted with the sport. And it comes to something when it takes a podcaster, as popular as he is, who's not officially involved in boxing, to ask the kind of questions that need to be asked. Similarly with Simon Jordan and Jim White on their TalkSport show. This is why Eddie Hearn can't stand it. Can't stand getting scrutinised properly for a change. Rather than this bromance that he's conducting with Cook and Cassius of IFTV. It's fucking nauseating to watch these cunts together. They're like a couple of fucking star-crossed lovers. You know? So, yeah. I commend Brian Davis. I think the Chisora fight is, as I say, a piss take. I certainly won't be buying the pay-per-view. I hope you don't either. And for those mad enough to actually buy a ticket to attend the fight, I just say, I feel sorry for you, mate. Because you've been conned. You've been absolutely fucking conned. Fury is now bigger than boxing, and that's a danger. It's a danger for him, and it's a danger for the sport. Fantastic fighter. Best of his era, no doubt. Relatable. Understandably, he's a crossover star. He's become a part of Britain's cultural fabric. But the danger is that he thinks he can do anything, say anything, and get away with it. And it's not good for us, and it's not good for him on a personal or professional level. I don't believe they sold 50,000 tickets. I think that's bullshit. I hope the fans don't boycott this fight. I hope the fans stay away in vast numbers because it needs something like that to bring these people to account and to heel. I think the abuse levelled at Brian Davis by Tyson Fury was uncalled for. I think it shows him in a very poor, very bad light. I think he's damaged his reputation. And he will continue to be on the defensive when it comes to this fight in the run-up. I think even he will realise that the fans are not happy with this. The talks with AJ broke down. I don't believe it was Tyson Fury or Frank Warren's fault. I think Eddie Hearn probably sabotaged those talks because he didn't like the fact that Matchroom was on the B side of the promotion. Fuck Eddie Hearn. fuck AJ. AJ is, to my mind, finished. He is, since the defeat to Ruiz Jr., his brain has become a mince pie. He's fragile where he needs to be ferocious. He's hesitant where he needs to be hot. I don't think he has anything to offer the game. He comes over as a guy who has a Zoom meeting to discuss when he should take his morning shit in the morning with his PR team. Anyway, I don't think AJ would be able to withstand what Tyson Fury brings, but it would have been an interesting matchup because they've both been talked about for years now, but it doesn't look like that fight is going to happen. So as I say, fair enough, Tyson Fury couldn't get another opponent, but don't make it pay-per-view against Chisora and have it in an indoor arena to ensure that the fans are not fucking freezing their balls off. That's all I've got to say. Peace out.